Hi there lovelies, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Now today, come on then, come on in, come on, can you not get up? Good girl. So I'll try that again. The dog is now in place. She can't be more than 2 meters away from me at any point in the day. So with Luna joining us as per normal, I wanted to bring to you today a witchy thrift haul. So kind of an autumn witchy thrift haul, and I can't remember the last time I did a thrift haul on this channel because I've not really been doing a lot of thrifting. I've gone out looking for the odd dollar or two, which I've shared on my doll channel, which is always linked if you are interested. But a witchy thrift haul, not so much. But today I thought I would rectify that and share some of the things I've recently found, which are just wonderful. And it just goes to show you don't need a huge budget to be able to start to get a lovely collection of witchcraft supplies around you. There are a few things bought new from our shop B&M in the UK. Of course, they had all the Halloween stuff out. I've really restricted myself for buying Halloween things this year. I've just bought 2 new things. So there's some new things. I bought some jars from B&M as well. So we'll start with the things that aren't thrifted first. So these are all from B&M. I can't remember how much this was, but I just absolutely adored this little glass orange pumpkin jar, which has got like a sealed jar, but it's also got a candle in, and it smells just so gorgeous. It's a honey pumpkin smell. It smells wonderful. It smells very autumnal. I thought once the candle had gone as well, that is such a beautiful glass jar. I love it. So that was something I bought new from B&M. I also could not resist this pumpkin jar as well, with a glass lid. Just lovely. I think it's supposed to be filled with candy, or you could put like witchy charms in there. It could be used for anything really. Now inside it are some plastic jars. I tend not to like plastic so much. I tend to go for glass. I don't like things sitting so much against plastic long term, unless it's my art supplies where it doesn't matter, things like stickers and stuff that I use in my art witchcraft practice, then I don't mind the plastic jars. But I found a whole bag with about 20 of these in for a couple of pounds in the charity shops. Of course I grabbed the big bag. Loads of them have got moon water in from the last full moon, which is incredible, just because I had no jars available, so I grabbed these. I've got some soil in some others of the jars, also because they're plastic and the lids are screw top, and they really are firm screw tops. They're quite good for throwing in my bag. I don't like throwing glass bottles in the bottom of my bag simply because they break, so that seemed like a no-brainer to grab a whole load of those while I found them thrifting. So a pumpkin jar, those are my 2 buys for this Halloween. Also from B&M, I've been trying to find jars, and I'm going to show you some amazing thrifted jars in a minute. But while I was also in B&M, I was looking for storage jars because I've been reorganising my art apothecary, and B&M had some beauties in glass with wooden lids. I love having the natural components of a jar. Like glass and wood is my absolute favourite. There was one of these left. If you wonder what that is in it, it is a doll innards, so as you do. And then I bought a few of these. I think these were between, I think they were about £2.50 up to about £4. I think the bigger one was £4. Again, it's got a seal on the lid, wooden top, glass. Those are seed pods from my honesty plant, which I collected the other day. Let me move all these things off the top of this jar, and then I can show you. Yeah, see, this was the more expensive one. I've not even taken the label off yet. That was £4, so that is sort of lower and wider. Again, glass with a wooden lid. Just love it. So I bought actually a few of those while I was down there, because I have been doing a big reorganisation of my art supplies, and also in the kitchen as well, swapping over some jars in the kitchen. So that was what I bought from B&M recently. Right, then all the rest of the stuff is thrifted, or from the car boot that I did when I went visiting the old place where I used to live. I was driving home, and in that video, if you've seen it, you'll know that I was hearing my dad's voice, and I asked for him. I said, all we need now, Dad, is a car boot, because me and Dad would spend every single Sunday doing car boot sales. It was our favourite thing ever to do, and all the car boots around by me never started up again after we went into lockdown. So I haven't done a car boot for years and years now. Don't you know, as I drove round the corner after putting that out to my dad, a local farm had put a sign up saying car boot today, and I pulled on, and some of these things were from the car boot. Now, one thing is in the cabinet over here. I'm going to reach over. So if you saw that video, you will know the story behind this bell. Now, it's got a lovely sound. This was 50p on a stall, and as I walked up to the store, my dad's voice said in my head, Bab, buy the bell. He always used to call me Bab. He said, that can be your little me bell for my inner child. And so I bought it. The lady wrapped it up in newspaper. When I got home and unwrapped it, I didn't realise, but on the other side of the bell was this image of a young girl or a young lady, and it just blew me away. I hadn't seen that image on the bell when I bought it. I had just seen this side and loved it. When I saw that side with what I heard my dad's voice in my head say, it was just real confirmation that my dad was with me that morning. Now, I do love bells. I have a number of bells. I have a crystal bell on my main altar here, which I use for cleansing the room when I want to open a circle. I don't really like smoke. I really struggle with working with anything that makes smoke. I can just about cope with incense sticks, and that's it. Anything more than that and I'm out. So I do a lot of house cleansing with bells. I have a couple of bells as well downstairs in my art studio, my altar down there. My little me bell is now on my altar this side, or in my sort of past apothecary items there. So I am not adverse to wanting a few more bells. I do like to be able to grab a bell and walk around the corners of a room when I feel like the energy is a bit off. I just think sound cleansing for me, I just really love it, and I really feel the benefits of it. So I carried on walking around the car boot, and then I went back to that store because they had a few more bells for sale there, and I wanted to know the story behind them. Two lovely ladies running the store. They said it was their auntie who they both adored. It was their auntie's bell collection. They said she loved them. She was always sad at the thought of them being split up, but they couldn't keep them anymore. They didn't have any space for them. But they said, yes, she would be sad to see them all being split up. So at that point, I bought the rest of them because I can put bells on different shelves around the house, and then I've got them without having to go searching for a bell. So there are a number of bells here. This pair just takes me back to being a child, the days of nostalgia. If you are my sort of age, I'm mid-50s now, you might have grown up in a house with lots of ornaments like this. My aunts all had ornaments like this. My mum and dad had ornaments like this. It's really nostalgic, this look. And these are two little bells, two little angel sisters. Again, they have a lovely little sound. So those were 50p each. So I think those will probably live in the lounge. This is another gorgeous bell. This is a lot more delicate, the china on this. It's got quite a piercing sound, that, and I think the sounds of the bells, like for something a bit more piercing, this one might come out if the energy really does feel off. This little heart-shaped bell, I just loved that. That's got a really sweet sound, and you can see it's got flowers and a butterfly printed on it on both sides, and this beautiful sort of heart-shaped handle. I loved that. And then really excitingly, I found a bell for the caravan in Wales to take up to my caravan in Wales. I have been looking for a bell like this for the caravan for ages, so that was just perfect. And it says welcome to Wales in Welsh on there as well, and again a really lovely sound on that. So I thrifted a number of bells. That entire collection, including the little me bell, was only £3, and I really feel that to get a collection from somebody that loved their collection, it comes with love energy in it, so that really helps to cleanse the energy when I know that the person that owned it before adored them, and I just can feel that in them, so I love them for that. Also thrifting on that car boot, I found a candle and a flower candle holder. This was only like 50p, and look at the size of this candle. I love the colour of it. It's really oceanic. It'll be fantastic for if I am doing any sort of ocean magic or bringing in the element of water. I think also flowers, if I am sort of working with, say, water in the garden, that is absolutely perfect. I loved that. And then also on that car boot, I found some dolls. Now, dolls are always my very favourite thing to find. For me, dolls with witchcraft, they can bring in kind of a meditation element. I can meditate with a doll. It's almost like pathworking into a card. I can pathwork into the story of the doll. I also use doll whispers, sort of like channeling the voice of a doll, to add into tarot readings, and I do that over on my doll channel. That's why my doll channel is called Tiny Soul Whispers, because I use almost like a channeling, a mediumship element with the dolls to bring a whisper of a doll into whatever tarot reading I'm doing. And I do use my dolls, especially around Christmas time over on my other channel, to do daily tarot readings. So I'm always really keen to find different dolls to add to my collection that bring in different sort of energies and different possibilities for stories. And oh boy, did I find some amazing dolls at this car boot. So the first one is a beautiful vintage Barbie that actually comes with her own stand. None of these dolls have been cleaned up yet, but I think she is just gorgeous. She's kind of, I would put her face at late 80s face. I don't know the doll. I don't necessarily know if this is her outfit. There's no info on the stand either. There's normally info on the stand, but it's not on there. She's got this incredible dress with this amazing long chiffon train. She needs a wash, and I'm certain that eventually I'll track down who she is. But I just thought she was gorgeous for a few pounds. Also on there, oh my gosh, this is a Monster High doll, and I'm not as up on Monster High as I am on Barbie. I'm a lifetime Barbie collector, but new to Monster High. But I do know that this is generation 1, I think. It's not the latest generation 3 dolls. It is a it looks like they did a range where they mixed up the different dolls and they did a bit of each, because it's got a leg wrapping on the leg which looks like Cleo Denial, but it also looks a bit like Frankie, so I don't know if it's a different character. I'm not really sure. But what I liked about her is the segmented parts. You can also see almost like robotic bits inside her leg. She's got clear parts, again robotic parts showing through. Different segments, look, even her hands are different colours. And I thought she would be fantastic as a tool to work with soul retrieval and parts work and sort of integrating parts of myself. Really great for meditation around that. She could be a spell object for things like that. So that was the potential I saw in her the minute I saw it in the box. So that was a wonderful find. Also, for doing any sort of fairy work, I found this is actually one of the Barbie movie dolls. This is from the Fairytopia series of dolls. A really amazing find. These are quite expensive now to buy new. She wasn't expensive at the car boot. She is missing just a tiny little ruffle skirt, which will be super easy to remake for her, but apart from that, she is in excellent condition. I think for doing any sort of work with fairies, anything like this is just a joy to work with. She was such a find. I was so pleased. Okay, with Halloween coming up, to find a Draculaura from Monster High was amazing, and look how good condition she is in. Draculaura is my favourite Monster High character. I just love her. She is, of course, the daughter of Dracula, and she is amazing. And look, if you pull her top down, not only do you get a different corset, but you get her wings opening up, which are these wonderful, wonderful hearts. She's just so lovely. I mean, how could I have left her there? Amazing for Halloween. Just love Draculaura, so she had to come home with me too. Also, on another store, I really like vintage dolls because of the character they hold. I think for working with Tiny Soul Whispers in Tarot, a diverse collection of dolls, especially the old dolls, which a lot of people find spooky, and I think that's because they're so full of character and history. I think it's lovely to find those and then to try and tap in to the energy within them. I found a couple of old dolls like that. These kind of this 50s type doll. I just have got a real love for these type of dolls. They're very plasticky feeling, and I love them. Of course, she really needs a clean. Even more so is this little girl. Look at her again. She is really in need of a clean. She's had her hands chewed a little bit as well. I got them for pennies. They will clean up and I will try and find their story. So I was thrilled about those. One more doll left. This was absolutely a find. I've wanted one of these dolls for ages. This is from the Witch line of Bratzilla dolls. Look at her. Complete outfit. She's got all her outfit there. She's absolutely perfect. Look at that face. They don't make these dolls anymore, and I've never found one. So to find her, oh my gosh, I was so excited. So I've got a Witchy doll for witchy energy. Look, she's even got witchy tattoos. Just so thrilled to get her. So that was, I think, the find of the day. Okay, then going to the local thrifting shops. I've definitely worn this in a video, but I don't think I've talked about it. But I found this amazing wooden chain necklace with a mermaid on, and I don't know as I've ever shown it on the channel. This was a while ago now that I found this, but it was thrifted, and because mermaids have been coming to me a lot and I've been really pulled to working with water energy, to be able to wear a wooden carved mermaid necklace, it's just been a lovely piece of jewellery to enchant and to wear, and I've loved that. And then staying with jewellery, I kind of found sort of chains with old jewellery on, sort of like 10p chains with pendants on. I mean, look at this one with a shoe. Isn't that amazing? Can you see that? It's got the red underneath. And then this one has got like a lily. So this makes me think of graveyards. This makes me just think of glamour. It also makes me think of Taylor Swift with the red base to the show. in amongst all the trinkets as well, I found like a carousel horse trinket. I found a little doll's house horse, and look at this, I found a sandcastle trinket. Those are all going to go in with my charm casting pot. So I think looking at old jewellery, or looking in the tiny sort of oddments section amongst the toy section, it's a really nice place to find unusual charms just for like 5-10p each, which is what those were. Behind me you can see this. Now this was an incredible find. This was in a thrift shop that I went in while I was waiting for my daughter to get her hair cut. This is a basket, which the basket is gorgeous in itself, but of fake fruit. So you've got pomegranates, you've got all those tarot associations with pomegranates, you've got lemons. Now with lemons, I kind of associate lemons with getting rid of bad energy, like soaking up bad energy. You've got all sorts of different types of fruits in here. There's lemons, there's apples of all different colours, there's pomegranates, there's bananas, a whole basket full, you can see there. Now these fruits are so expensive to buy new. Like you can pay £20 a fruit for fake fruit, and I've always wanted them for painting and setting up still lives. Never been able to afford it. I got all of these full basket of fruits and the basket for £3. I could not believe it. You wouldn't get one apple anywhere for that. So that's going to go on my kitchen altar that I am currently making for nurturing foods, learning how to self-love through nurturing foods. I'm also going to be using that, of course, in my art. That was such a find. And then books. My gosh, I found some amazing books for 20p each. These were, first of all, this one is brilliant. I found the Women's Book of Healing Herbs, Secrets from 90 Top Herbal Healers. So it's herb usage for women, and it is fabulous. It is absolutely brilliant. You've got all sorts of conditions, from digestive problems to burns and scalds, stretch marks to muscle strain to high blood pressure, all sorts of things in there. You've got the breakdown of the different herbs as well in the front, which is just amazing with all these illustrations. You've got ways to use them, different remedies in the back. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't believe it. Really fantastic book. Also, I found this gorgeous vintage book, I think for using stitch work as witchcraft, which I love. Not only have you got that ability to layer ingredients in a stitch work, especially in a applique, but you've also got that repetition that can send you into like a meditative state that sewing or knitting or crochet or any stitch work can give you. You've also got knot magic in all of these. It is just lovely for that type of witchcraft. So there's all these beautiful pictures of quilts. Now my kids are all getting ready to fly the nest. I have a whole box full of their favourite clothes that I never wanted to get rid of, that I could possibly now start turning into patchwork quilts, almost like a healing quilts for me, because I'm going to miss them so much as they leave home. But I just love all the old-fashioned elements of this. But also you've got these amazing sort of applique hand embroidery projects in there. I can see French knots, which is probably one of my favourite embroidery stitches. And there's all sorts of projects like that. You've got info on cut paper applique in there, which I'm really keen to know what that is. You've got sort of shadow applique work. I mean, look how witchy that project is. Isn't that just awesome for a blind? So that just screams tree magic to me. You've got kind of folklore elements. You could learn how to depict your favourite mythology stories in applique. There's just so many possibilities, and it is just, oh my gosh, it's so retro. It's worth buying just to absolutely adore the pictures. I mean, look at that for an art magic spell using the element of water, or like at the strength card for tarot. Like everything I look at in here, it just screams a witchy project. Look at that, saints. If you work with saints, there's a saint applique project. You could take all of these ideas and just run with them. Look at applique on clothes. I mean, you could do altered clothes as part of your practice. I mean, look at that, just incredible. And then you've got images like this, which are just so kitsch. I loved it, and that was just pennies, and I just couldn't leave it in the shop. And then on the same vein next to it, I think the same person must have brought these in, we've got the book of handicrafts for all the family. So you've got old-fashioned crafts like rug making, and I think learning some of these old-fashioned skills could be a way of reconnecting back with ancestors. I think, like, there's a whole section on how to do corn weaving. This just makes me immediately think of Bridget and just learning how to do that. Look, it talks you through different projects. It's an absolute treasure of a book, it really is. You've got things like basket weaving in here. I mean, look at that introductory page. So your contents go from felt craft, paper craft, corn weaving, rug making, jewellery, toy making, applique, beadwork, crochet, pebble polishing, candle making, quilting, tie-dyeing, tatting, fabric craft, lampshade, collage, batik, embroidery, crewel work, needlepoint, knitting, all sorts of things, smocking. I mean, how many aspects of this could you put into your witchcraft? Macrame, that's not work, but you also end up with plant holders if you are a green witch. I mean, if you were going to do knot work, wouldn't it be amazing to be able to do knot work like this? And then on a real budget, you've got paper crafting. Look, Christmas decorations for paper crafting, all very easily adapted for witchcraft. Now, where was that pebble polishing? There we go, pebble polishing, again super pertinent for witchcraft work. So I think for like a few pennies, that is such a witchy extravaganza of possibilities, and I just loved it. And then from local charity shops as well, I found some beautiful jars. These aren't all the jars I found, some are bigger and they're full of things now, but I grabbed, how many have I got? I grabbed 3 to show you. So these are, I mean, look at the top of that, that's a proper crystal stopper. It's just gorgeous. It's heavy as well, that goes into this jar. You can see what I've been doing down in my art studio. I've been trying to get all of my sort of mixed media stuff out of boxes so I can see more clearly what I've got. I'm beginning to realise nothing's getting used because I can't see it. So this has got things like matchsticks and lollipop sticks in there, but all of these jars were like £1 a piece, and that is just beautiful, heavy cut glass. The same with this one. I mean, look at the shape of this one, again with just the most beautiful stopper. Again, it's all cut glass at the top. You can see I've got all my little people in there that I use in different things. I love it. And then this is a bottle that I found in the charity shop, which already had all these long matches in, which have been brilliant for lighting some of my candles that are lower down. So long matches, that was £1 in a bottle. So jars for my Apothecary. I've been really searching for those. Got some new ones, I've got some thrifted ones. Like I say, I've got more downstairs. I was thinking about doing an art witch Apothecary tour if you would like that. So I haven't brought all the jars up because I didn't want to show them all in this video, but I think that is everything that I brought up to show you. So that has been my latest witchy thrifted haul, which was found probably over the last 6 months or so. Like I say, I haven't really been buying stuff. It was the need for jars really that got me out looking. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. You don't have to spend loads of money. Keep thrifting, keep looking. You'll find bargains and love them even more because you found them on a treasure hunt. I'm certain of that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.